Okay, hi boys and girls. We're back for another English lesson. This week we're going to be talking about independent clauses. But before we do that, I want to do a review over the prepositions that we talked about all last week. So let me share my screen with you. And we are going to take a look at R2-D2 again. He has a R2-D2 returned, has another appearance on our English show. Prepositions show your position. Now, we talked about how R2-D2 is on the book. It shows his relationship to the book. The word on lets us know what position he's in compared to Old Yeller, the book. We could say Old Yeller is under R2-D2. Under would be our preposition that shows the position of the book compared to R2-D2. If you notice in the background, I have a Bible. And we could say the Bible is behind R2-D2. Behind would be a preposition showing the position of the Bible compared to R2-D2. Now, there are a couple of different things that prepositions can show besides position in place. Sometimes prepositions show position in time. For example, in 1976, Mrs. Brennan was born. 1976 is a time, and Mrs. Brennan was born in it. It shows the position of Mrs. Brennan's birth compared to the year. So we can show position in time as well. We can also show position in relationship. For example, cookies are made with sugar and flour. Sugar and flour in relationship to a cookie are with each other. They're inside it. You can't see them when you put when the cookie's all together, but we know that they're with each other. That is their relationship together. So we've reviewed prepositions. I think it's a great idea if there's some of them that you are struggling with. Use that sheet and memorize the ones that you still have trouble with, just like you memorize your multiplication facts. Okay, before we get started on today's new lesson, I want to let you know that there's going to be a secret word somewhere inside this video. And if you include it in your homework, it can lift your grade up depending on what you get. So make sure you're listening for that secret word today. When you hear it, I'll let you know what it is. Then make sure that you put it up by your name on your work for today. All right, so today I think you're going to think today's assignment is a little bit easier than what the prepositions were so far. Today, we're going to be talking about independent clauses. Now, an independent clause sounds really complicated, but Mrs. Brennan, you said it was going to be easy. Well, not only do I think it'll be easier for you, but I also can tell you that we've already talked about independent clauses many times this year. Well, Mrs. Brennan, I'm pretty good at remembering things, and I don't remember you saying independent clauses. Well, you're right. It's called something else as well. Let me give you a hint and see if you can figure out what an independent clause can also be called. Here is your first hint. An independent clause has a subject and a predicate. What's something we've talked about this year that has a subject and a predicate? Let me give you another hint. Now, I can't put this one on the screen because it gives away the answer. But an independent clause is a complete thought. So it has a subject, a predicate, and a complete thought. What do you think? It can stand alone, has a complete thought. It is a sentence. An independent clause is another way of saying complete sentence. They are both the exact same thing. They have to have a subject, a predicate, and have to express a complete thought so they can stand alone. A sentence, a complete sentence, and an independent clause are the same thing. All right. Now, if an independent clause is a complete sentence, then we've also got a fragment, which is the exact opposite of a complete sentence. A fragment is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. Mrs. Brennan is. I don't have a complete thought there. Now, you could probably end it with the crazy or whatever you would like to end it with, but I don't have a complete thought there. I have a fragment. The dog, no complete thought there, no predicate there at all. So a fragment is not a sentence because it's either missing the subject or it's missing the predicate or it isn't a complete thought. I know that many of you have heard Mrs. Bean and I say over and over and over all year, please write in complete sentences. We could have also said, please write in independent clauses because some of your answers are written in what's called a fragment. Okay, let's practice this together just so you can get a few of them to try it out. I know you know what it is, but let's practice it anyway, especially so you can get to that secret word. All right, number 1 says the Split Rock Lighthouse overlooks Lake Superior. Okay, so let's see if this has a subject and let's see if this has a predicate. The Split Rock Lighthouse is what our whole sentence is about. So it does have a subject. Well, what is the Split Rock Lighthouse doing? It's overlooking. So it does, in fact, have a predicate. This is an independent clause. Let's go to number 2. Have visited the lighthouse. Do you see a subject in this sentence? I don't. I do see a predicate. I see the action, have visited. That's what the who or what was doing. But I certainly don't see who had visited the lighthouse. So this one would have to be a fragment because it's missing the subject of the sentence. Let's look at number 3. Tourists often visit the lighthouse. Does this have a subject? Yes, it does. It's tourists. What are the tourists doing in this sentence? They're visiting. So we have a subject, we have a predicate, and we have a complete thought. This is a complete sentence or an independent clause. Both are exactly the same thing. All right. I'm going to leave you to do the page that I have left you attached to this assignment, but I'm not going to leave you until I give you the secret word. Make sure you put the secret word somewhere by your name on your assignment at the top of the page, and the secret word today is sentence. Put sentence somewhere at the top of your paper that you turn in so that I know that you can get that extra point for knowing the secret word and watching the video. If you have any other questions or you're still not quite understanding it, feel free to message me or watch my video again. And then also I put in another video that explains independent clauses in a little bit different way so that you can watch it on the next slide. All right, I look forward to seeing you next when we work on dependent clauses. Talk to you later.